everyone, hey and welcome back to yet another episode of Battle Rap Resume. This is your host Tom Quee. We are doing yet another one of our Fancasts, which is a little series that we do, you know, like Barstermine, like our classic event rewinds, top 5 rounds. It's, you know, just a continuing thing that's always fun to return to, where we speak to quote-unquote famous fans, you know, or fans that are interesting, and today is no different. Just before I get involved with that, please follow the show at battlerapresume. Get in touch with me as well via email, battlerapresume@gmail.com. Any questions you've got, you know, I get to those in the Ask Battle Resume episodes as well. That's another series. Check those out if you want to hear my opinion on various things. A new one of those coming out soon, should be out maybe by now. Patreon is always there as well. If you want to help support us on Patreon, you want to help the show grow, you want to show your appreciation, it's greatly appreciated in return. We've got lots of stuff on the Patreon at any one time, really. You know, all the Barcelona, everything goes on there first. So if you want to support, you want to get access, you know, we're going to jump straight in. And Josh, how's it going, man?
Yeah, man, it's not too bad. What are you saying?
I'm good, man. And, like, you know, you are a famed fan. Like, I remember, I think we first met when I battled Murta.
Yeah, King of the Runnels, yeah.
Yeah. Was it like Rise of the Foot Soldier or one of those sort of events? But
yeah.
And, you know, you've been a fan for a long time, it seems.
Yeah, since, like, maybe 2006.
Right.
Something like that. Yeah, so it's quite a while now.
Right. And what is the... You know, how does it start? What was the first thing you were aware of, battle rap wise?
Well, basically, you know, Channel U, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'd been to New York for like my 18th birthday, and then I came back and I was flicking through Channel U one day, and they showed a Mike Assassin battle because they put him on tour there, and I remember seeing him versus Cyanide, and then he battled like a few other people, but I can't remember them. But the one with Cyanide stuck out to me, and then that's how it kind of got started, because they used to show the WRCs on there too. So that's how it kind of got started for me watching battle rap.
Who were the early ones that you really connected with? What were the early matchups?
As I said, the Cyanide versus Mike Assassin one was cool, and then I didn't see nothing after that until maybe it was the following year when the WRC started. It was like Possessed and What's His Face versus Spit Semis and Streets. Like, that was a really, like, it was freestyle, but it was a good battle for what it was. Like, Possessed and What's His Face was just fucking sick.
Yeah. I mean, they were incredible. They were incredible.
Yeah, they were, man. And then like Dash and George were in there as well, so I watched all their battles. So it's just like probably the UK guys mostly, and obviously the Saurus and Ilmac were in that one, I think.
Yeah, they were. Yeah,
obviously I watched all theirs as well, so that was cool.
Yeah, Respect BA came through as well, which was
who did he team? Who did he team with?
He teamed with Stig of the
That was it, and it was for fucking Ark and Coolers, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Respect BA, man. He needs to battle more, I think.
Yeah, that'd be cool. When was his last battle with Sirius Jones, wasn't it? Checkpoint 4. That was a really good battle, actually.
Yeah, that was a sick battle. Yeah, he
cool,
was great
man.
in it.
Yeah, he was, man. I don't know how long he had to prep, but the stuff he came with was just fucking sick. So
I think a lot of people have just been saying how, and I felt this at the time when I saw him, like how refreshing his style is. Like, it's not aged at all; it's ageless. You know, it's so quality, and it's a nice remedy to today's quite garbled wordplay style. Like, it's still pun based, still attacking, but it's very clean and satisfying.
Yeah, it is. I thought that as well. I thought when he battled Tony, that it would be a bit like outdated kind of thing, because obviously we hadn't seen him since way back at the start of Don't Flop. But like he came with it and he fucking smashed it against Tony, and then obviously he did his thing against Sirius Jones as well. So it wasn't he's like moved with the times of battling. It wasn't just freestyle based. He obviously written, and then his structure was good as well, so that's all you can ask really from a performance standpoint.
Yeah, the quality
and a fan standpoint.
Yeah, it's peerless, really. Some of the stuff that he comes up with, and it just has this rare thing where it's really effective in person and equally effective on camera. It sort of has this.
Yeah, he's got that presence, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Like, obviously he's got his fans from years ago, so transcends to now, where he's back and doing it again, kind of thing. Yeah.
It doesn't even translate. It just naturally evolved to this point, and you know, it was crazy to see. So let's talk about going to events as a whole. What was your first event?
It was the start of the Raise the Bar tour.
Right.
It was like I think it might have been the second one on the tour, because it was Yunnan versus Old English was the main event.
Oh yeah.
It was because they'd cancelled it. It was supposed to be a jam, but they cancelled for what Tommy said was a dentist appointment or something.
Right.
And then they rearranged it for this event, so I went along to that, and yeah, it was sick from what I remember.
The one rounder, right?
Yeah, it was a one rounder. That's the thing I was disappointed with. I was like, fuck, I thought it was going to be 3 rounds, and then it was like, Furtz was like, no, it's a one rounder, but it came off good for what it was, kind of thing.
Yeah, definitely. I enjoy this battle a lot. I think both of those guys are in that sort of vintage of that era. It's got some solid views. It's impressive from both sides. I think Old English does really well with Yunnan
he had
as
some
opponent.
bars in there.
Yeah. And Yunnan was great. Yunnan sort of thrives in these small rooms. These places that Don't Flop goes for one event and then you never see this place again. They're quite cool.
Exactly.
You know, that was what Raise the Bar was about to a certain extent, just a different environments. Just looking at the card, Josh, I don't know how much you remember of this, but Tally versus Craze apparently went down there.
Yeah, that was a really good battle, man. Tally broke Craze down differently.
Yeah.
And Craze had some bars in there too. Like, that was a really good battle. And I remember, who's it? G-Dub, was it?
E-Double versus Juan.
Versus Juan.
You saw Juan's tryout. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. He was good, man.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, I remember. Yeah. E-Double, I always say, looks like Nicholas Lyndhurst. He looks a lot like Trigger if you go back and watch that battle.
Man like Dave.
Yeah.
Big up Dave.
Scripter versus Hutch went down as well. I don't know if you remember that one.
I liked Hutch, man. I thought he was good. But I don't remember too much about the other guy, but I liked Hutch. And he was supposed to battle again. Was it last year? And he didn't show for his battle, but like, I fucked with him. He's a nice guy.
And finally, do you remember the final battle that went down at that event?
Was it Hulk versus Money Mitch?
It was, yeah.
Yeah, that was a good battle, man.
Yeah.
That's when Hulk sick, man. Like, I fucked with Hulk. And then Money Mitch was good as well. So it came off well, like on camera, I thought, and in the room.
Yeah, that's a cool debut event to go to, actually. It's a good mix of battle styles.
Yeah, it was. I kept meaning to go to events. It's just like life got in the way, so I was like, fuck it, I'll go. And then it turned out to be a good event from what I remember.
Yeah, it was. I think it translates, definitely. And, you know, going forward for you, what were some of the other events that you remember early on?
What was it? There was a Camden Carnage where, was it Raptor battled Sleepy?
Oh, okay, yeah.
That was a really good battle. And obviously my boy Vocab battled there as well. So that was cool. And then Sunburn 1, I think, was shortly after that. And we had, who was it? There was
so many good battles.
Yeah, I can't even remember. Who was the main event?
Was it Ogmios versus Lego? Was that one of them?
Ogmios versus Lego, yeah, that was one of them. And there was a Big J battled. It
was Tony Double L and
Tony Double L and Gem versus Tally, and Dialect versus Skirmish was on there as well, which was that was quite good as well. I think there was a few chokes on both sides, but that was a good battle. I enjoyed that one.
The atmosphere was great on that. The setting, I thought. And
that place was too much, man. There was like maybe 300, 200 people or something from what I remember. Yeah. But it was just too much in that venue.
I'll always be at pains to remind people, just because you told me this before. Lazy Oz Jack was there apparently. And I've tried to spot him in the crowd whenever I had to cover a battle for an episode, and he's quite elusive actually. But shout out Lazy Ass Jack.
I don't remember seeing him there. No. And apparently Max Sherry was there with his best friend. And I didn't know Max Sherry at this point because he hadn't battled at the Ronalds yet, I don't think, or I hadn't been to the Ronalds yet, or something like that. But he was there as well. But I was literally right at the front for all the battles. This when I was a bit of a fanboy then. Yeah. But now I stand behind the camera. So
right.
But yeah, it was a good event, but the venue itself was a bit too claustrophobic to enjoy it.
Okay.
To what it was, like, it was so hot.
It was sunburn. But,
it was literally sunburn.
But I mean, what was the best battle? Do you remember from that you enjoyed the most?
Probably Tony versus Double L. Like, you know, we're getting with Tony, and you know, you're getting with Double L, so it was just bar fest on both sides. And obviously this was when Ian Daniels were like a big thing, so Double L's little call out to all of them was quite good.
It was. And I think it was a kind of satisfying bit of drama that concluded well with a good battle, you know, from Tony, from both of them. I thought they were excellent, you know, stuff still getting callbacks to tablet stuff, got referenced recently, and it has a sort of, dare I say, Premier Battles quality with the warring crews and the tribalism true. And the jibes, and you know, it all plays into a really rich battle. Really enjoy that battle. What were some of the events that you went to? Because I'm just interested because I know you've been to a lot, so it's kind of just living vicariously through. I'm like,
so I've been to that many. I've kind of lost count. I've been to like it's hard to think now. Like when I'm watching your show, I'm usually like, yeah, I've been to that, but I can't think now. It's like like all the ones at the Fiddler's Elbow, obviously you have to go to the Fiddlers. Like,
yeah, man,
that's just standard for. Like, if you're a battle rap fan and you've never been to the Fiddlers, then I don't know what you're doing with your life. But
it's the place.
Like,
I think it's the place in battle rap. I think all together from any league. I couldn't name you any King of the Dot ones, but I bet they know about Fiddlers. It's spoken about. We've done episodes about it on this show. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
We pay tribute.
Yeah, it's just one of those places like everyone wants to bring their A game to the crowd kind of thing. It's like other venues, I don't know, like it's the same with Jam though. People want to bring their A game there because obviously it's synonymous with UK battle rap. But I have the most fun at Fiddler's Elbow events because it's like it's small, but you can pack it out with like 300 people, and then the atmosphere is fucking crazy.
And what is the relationship between you and actually wanting to battle? I know you tried to, or you were going to, or something like that. Like,
it's literally just real life, bro. It's like every time I've been offered something, I've either been away or something has happened, so it didn't happen. Like, I was supposed to battle at, was it Poetic Warfare?
Right.
And like,
R.I.P.
Between, R.I.P. Poetic Warfare.
R.I.P. PW on the map.
On the map, don't know. Yeah, they gave me, I think they gave me an opponent first with like no information about the event itself. And it took like maybe a month before I got anything. Obviously, this was when I was self-employed, so I was doing my photography stuff. So I booked stuff in and I had to drop out of it, unfortunately. But then I got dropped out on the day, so I ended up going to the event anyway. So it's just like, it just shit happens really. But I'm battling supposedly at Prime Cut in Wales at some point in the next couple of months because they're relaunching. And one of their guys, Crash, wants to do, it's either, I think he wants to do a one-rounder with me. So we'll see how that goes. I've already started writing for it.
And how would you describe your writing style?
Bar
heavy?
Yeah, more bars than jokes. I don't really fuck with jokes like that. Like, if you're funny, like Shuffle and Marlowe, then you can pull it off. But if you're not that funny, like, you should just stick to bars, really. And then, like, structure your stuff around that. And maybe add something that's funny, but go more bar heavy and then see how it works out. I suppose you just have to pick and choose, innit? It's like a learning curve. So you pick and choose what you think will work, and then if it doesn't, you go back to the drawing board.
Talking of inspirations here, who all-time favourite battlers?
Do you want me to list like a list, or
just give me a few names to give you an idea of like the people
obviously,
you really.
Obviously Tony's up there. Like he's just the best. Soul, C Major.
Yeah.
Who else? I fuck with Ark a lot. Ark's really good at.
Ark's amazing.
Getting to the point of something. He'll structure a verse and then. Like, there'll be the punch there, there'll be the good setup, and then he's just like an all-rounder for me. So, and I fucked with him since the WRC, so Ark's an easy one. Like, Osh, obviously Yunnan, like, he was one of the people that got me into Don't Flop and made me stay with Don't Flop. So, Yunnan, and like, I like people like Cortez as well. Cortez is real good. Who else? I fuck with Sharon a lot. Like, I get a lot of hate for that, but I fuck with Sharon.
Sharon's dope.
Like, he's a nice guy as well. I spoke to him like a few times at events that I've been to with him, where he's been at. Like, so I fuck with Sharon. And like Pat Stays, like from that era, like Pat Stays, Holler Hands. Who else? I like Kid Twist too. He's good. I'd like to see him back to do a few more battles.
Yeah, man. He's making moves though. He's writing movies, etc.
Yeah, he's doing a lot right now.
Impressive.
Like it's when that whole stuff about that film, was it Bodied?
Bodied, yeah.
It took me a while to make the correlation between him and the battler of Kid Twist kind of thing. That it was him writing it.
Yeah. It is. I mean, it makes sense, I suppose, that someone of that cloth would do it, but nonetheless, it's pretty spectacular that it came about. And going overseas, if you, speaking of King of the Dot, etc., have you ever wanted to do that? Have you ever done that, I should say?
No, I've never been to a King of the Dot event, but it's something. I've got a new passport now, so it's on the list to do. I need to see Sharon in his own little area, and that'd be cool.
Yeah, definitely. I think regardless of if the crowd isn't good or that always gets mentioned. We mentioned it on the show before. Still, to go to a King of the Dot event would be incredible. In the same way that a tourist would want to do whatever, it's like if I go to Canada, that is the number one attraction for me.
I think it'd have to be a Toronto-based event though. Like that's where they seem, or maybe even if it was outside of Canada, a Battle at the Bunker event, if they still do those.
Because that bunker.
Oh, why is it?
The bunker don't exist anymore, bro. Yeah.
Oh, really? I didn't even know that. This is how out of the loop I am with shit like that. Like, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
I saw something, but I thought it was a joke, so I just like.
It is a joke. It's a big loss. You know, going forward for you then, like, you know, you say you've sort of lost love of it. What has that happened for?
I don't know. It's just shit that happens along the way as a fan kind of thing. The way people, like, I don't like how people talk online is a big thing. Like, they're not like that in person, and that really fucking annoys me. It's like, I'm not naming names or anything, or like there's no general people. It's just like you see how certain fans, they get a bit too gassed up in forums, and then like when it comes to seeing them in person, they're like shaking your hand and shit. It's like, fuck, get the fuck out of here, man. Like, you can't act like that one way and then be another way in a different situation, because it doesn't work like that in real life. So just shit like that made me kind of think like, no, I need to take a step back from all this bullshit. And like, I stopped watching battles for a long period of time as well, but recently I'm back into it again.
So what is it? Just a general like, fuck all those keyboard warriors, or? Yeah,
kind of like that. It's just like people being too gassed and like having nothing to back it up with, like just that really. It's just a load of shit.
And, you know, so what are you looking forward to then in the world of battle rap? What exists for you?
How do you mean?
I mean, like, sort of league-wise, like, you know, are you following everything? Or?
Oh, yeah, I'm following Chalked Out a lot now, because obviously they're at the forefront right now, I guess. And obviously they've got their little hookup with King of the Dot, which is going to be fucking incredible.
That is huge.
Like, I can't wait for that card to drop in. I don't know when it's dropping, but it's in a few months when the event is, so hopefully it's soon, so we get to see how they're going to do it and who comes where and stuff like that. So that'll be good. And was it Code Red was good. The event I went to in, was it January, where Jim's battled Tony.
Oh yeah, where Briggsy bodied me. Yeah, good event.
Oh yeah, forgot about that. Yeah, no, that was I had a really good time at that event, man. I told Danny this on Saturday, Chalked Out. Like, that was a really good vibe there. Because it was just different. Like, everyone, like the big cypher everyone did. Well, I don't know if it was a cypher, but like the open mic thing everyone did. Like, you never really saw that at Don't Flop. You just saw battles and breaks. Whereas this got people involved and stuff. Like, that was really cool. And I'm going to Premier Battles as well. So that'll be a
London event.
Yeah, that'll be, it's like concrete, so that'll be cool.
Which again is sort of like, you know, an arm. If the fiddler has the elbow, you know, concrete is again a vital limb in the London scene, in the wider scene. It's
especially now as well. That's where like everyone's doing their events now is concrete, because obviously they don't want to. I don't think they want to use Brixton too much because of the past history. But you can't lose the fiddlers in the same sense, where you have to have events at the fiddlers kind of thing. You can't ever not do them there. So whatever league it's on, it'll be a good turnout there, and concrete always gets a good turnout too. So.
And how was that? How was that Chalked Out event they did that was predominantly music?
To be honest, it was a really low turnout because it was snowing.
Right.
So there was maybe about 20, 25 people, if that.
Right.
But the vibe was still good. They had one tryout battle, and it was the way it was recorded. The two battlers were on the stage.
Was it Benny P?
Benny P, yeah.
Shout out Ben. Yeah, good.
Maddo
he's been on the show before, so shout out Ben. He's a good guy.
Yeah, he shout out him, man. He was cool. And then the way it was filmed, they put them on the stage and like filmed against the wall, so the crowd was just behind the camera. And like there was a guy there, I can't even remember his name, but he was so gassed. Like, I don't know what he was on, but he was shouting all sorts of ad libs, and it made the battle fucking hilarious.
Right.
Like, he was just going fucking mental. And then, yeah, but the battle itself was quite good. Like, Benny P had a couple of chokes, I think it was. And the other guy got his stuff out relatively well, I thought. So it was a good tryout battle, and it'd be good to see them again, I'd say. Oh. But the live sense was cool as well. Like, we saw, because I didn't stay too long after that. It was Gemini and his boy Yizzy, they fucking shut it down. Like, they were on next levels, man. And Danny Jack had his little set, which was cool. And then Wars jumped on and did a few things, which was Like Raws has progressed so much, man. Like he's a dope rapper now.
Yeah, Raws
So,
is. Yeah, we're gonna have
yeah,
Raws on the
he's so
show
fun.
soon. He's fucking.
Yeah, man.
So
Like,
talented.
He is, man. He's got a lot of how to explain it? It's like his bars are well thought out.
Oh yeah.
Like they all mean something. So it was good to hear him jump on a set as well.
No, he definitely got a lot of respect for Raws. Like his writing
Yeah,
capability
man.
is
It was cool.
astronomical. But yeah, interesting to hear about that as well. But you know, King of the Ronalds you're affiliated with or are affiliated with.
I was.
Been a fan? Been a fan?
I was a team member for a couple of years.
Oh right.
As I was the head photographer for the league. Like, because I used to just take my camera as a fan, and then I think it got to a point where they were looking for people to like build a team around, kind of thing. So they could have I don't know, like in a sense, like a Bagnall and a Kruger setup where they had two specific people to do each thing, kind of thing. So then there was me doing the photography, there was Nux on the camera, and then Baz doing second angle, which never got used. And then, yeah, so it's just started like I just started taking my camera along, and then I got an inbox from Mickey one day saying, yo, do you want to be a team member? I was like, well, of course, like, that's a good shot for me to do what I do, and then you're putting me on. So it started like that, and then like little things happened here and there, and then I talked to EMC about it. Like I was already planning on leaving, and then it all kicked off. But I'm not going to go too much into that because it's buried now. But like I was leaving anyway, and then shit kicked off, and it kind of just ended. And I haven't been to an event since, but I've seen Hulk and Mickey since then, and like it's cool. Like I saw Mickey at Kojay's first event,
UKBL.
yeah, and he came up to me and like it was cool. And I saw Hulk at that same event, and I saw Hulk last weekend as well. So like there's nothing there now, but I just don't go to King of the Ronalds kind of thing.
Would you do photography at other events?
Yeah, I asked Briggsy if he needed someone, but kind of didn't get back to me. So
yeah.
I don't know. But obviously he's got his own team, so that's them moving forward in that. And I hollered, I talked to Shocks about it as well for Chalked Out, but I don't know. We'll see what happens, I guess.
Do it, man. Freelance. Don't need permission.
Yeah, I still do
Snap
stuff
those
like
battles,
that.
like. You know.
I get some good shots on my phone too, so I still get shots like that. Like, I found one the other day of the was it Bar Wars, where Kojay battled Emerge, and I've got this really good picture of Emerge with his fist in Kojay's face, and then like I've just edited that down and put it up on Facebook as well. So I keep finding all these things that I've taken and forgotten about, so it's like good memories and stuff.
Okay, so everyone listening right now in the live chat, I appreciate this episode will go out in the future, just a normal episode. Leave some questions and we'll get to them in a little bit. So any questions you got for me and Josh, or any topics that you want us to discuss. But what about favourite battle or favourite battles? Like, what are the ones you always reach for, you always rewatch?
Osh versus Tony is definitely one that I always go back to.
Classic.
Just like Osh, it's like what Sway said in the judging. It's like that first round from O'Shea was the best round. Was it the Saurus who said that? I can't remember, but one of them said that was O'Shea's best round they've ever heard, and like it really was at that point one of his best rounds. And then Tony's con scheme was just on another level. Like it was just fucking brilliant.
I mean,
and obviously,
arguably the con scheme hasn't aged well.
In what sense?
I don't know, that sort of repetitive con wordplay, like it's impressive, but to spend a whole round on it feels a little indulgent, maybe. Yeah,
I suppose maybe if he broke it down into like 32 or 16, maybe, and then it did go on a bit towards the end, but it was still good for that time period of Don't Flop, where the writing skills weren't as good as they are now. They were still good, but it was still progressing in like that transitional period from freestyle to written.
What do you look for then in a battler? Like, what are your favourite traits to watch?
It depends who I'm watching, really. Like, if I'm watching like someone say like C major, then I'm looking for the bars and delivery and how they project it to the crowd and stuff. But if I'm watching someone like, say, like Arsenal, obviously I want that aggression and I want him to get up in someone's face and then I don't know. It's just I like aggression in a battler. That's one of the main things I do look for. But you have to take each battler as they come. You can't expect someone like, say, C major to get up in someone's face. It just wouldn't work. And that's like no disrespect to him in it, but it's like it just wouldn't look right on camera or in the room. So I like aggression, like, mainly. So I'm quite a fucked up person, so I like aggression.
What about some dream matchups then? Like, who are some people that you really want to see face off?
Oh, that's a hard question, though. I don't even know. That'd be mad. I don't know if it's happened, but Soul versus Sharon, that would be a good battle for me personally. What do you think of that?
Soul versus Sharon.
I think he told me he might have got off of Sharon at some point. I'm not too sure, but I'd like to see that battle because they've both got bars and they're not gonna choke, and you know what you're gonna get from it. So I think that battle would be fucking classic, to be honest. Like, I think that'd be a really good battle.
What do you think about the argument that Sharon does best against black guys?
Oh, how you gonna stick on me like that, man? He does well against them. The footage is there to speak for itself against Suge, against Arse, against DNA. It's all there for people to view, and then you can go back and watch his other battles against people like Fork Farm and shit and see what the comparison is for themselves, innit? Like, in my personal opinion, he's killed every URL smack battler he's battled. Like, he's beaten them convincingly. And then he's gone against someone like Fork Farm, who's just some fat farmer guy, and destroyed him as well, just from being funny and arrogant. But it's not really an argument. The footage is there, innit? It's just a conflicting opinion of people who say if they fuck more with URL than someone like Sharon style, they'll say, oh no, Suge won. Whereas I would say Sharon won because I thought he broke him down better.
We've got Unicorn Thief saying that Soul versus Sharon is the whitest matchup ever.
Yeah, probably. That probably, to an extent, is the whitest matchup ever. But it's good. I don't know. Ask them what their opinions are. Like, what's your opinion on Soul versus Sharon? I don't know. I think it'd just be a bar-heavy battle, and I like bars, so what you're gonna see.
Born to be a baggy in the live chat asks, which UK battler needs to improve the most in 2018? Josh?
Which UK battler needs to improve? I don't even know, because everyone's quite... Most people who are battling now...
Yeah, whoever you say is kind of going to be offended by you saying it, so...
To be honest, I don't think there is anybody who needs to improve.
Really?
Because they've been... Well, put it this way, like... Everyone who's come from Don't Flop and they're branching out to Chalked Out and Code Red now, they're at a stage where they know what they need to do to win a battle, or they know what they need to do to win over the rooms, kind of thing. So they wouldn't be put on an event at like Premier Battles if they weren't up to that standard, if that makes sense.
A lot of people saying easy win for Soul on Soul versus Sharon. Soul
would take it, but Sharon will get at least one round.
Soul versus Sharon will be the biggest body since Andre the Giant, says Unicorn.
Wow, that would be a hard body as well, man. Like, Andre the Giant was a big motherfucker.
Yeah, that would be Soul versus... I'd rather see Shuffle T versus Sharon.
That would be a brilliant fucking battle. Yeah. That would be fucking insane.
Like a checkpoint 5 or something, I don't know.
It's what?
A checkpoint 5 maybe, or... I can't imagine it on Code 5. Red. Like, it needs to be on the sort of...
Man said checkpoint 5, bruv.
CP5, hashtag.
Yeah, let's all start a fucking GoFundMe and get checkpoint 5 sorted.
Did you rub your hands with glee when you saw Don't Flop in Flames?
Was that a question from someone else?
No, that's my question from me.
Oh, not really, because I've followed it for so long, so it's kind of shit that it is what it is, innit? But it gives... I think maybe it needed it, in a sense, where we've seen all these battles now, and then the league had become clearly very stagnant. So other leagues needed to branch off, and people needed to break away from that Don't Flop bubble kind of thing and do their own thing over here. And it's worked out well for Shocks and Ambi and all that, because Chalked Out is doing really well. Like, you've been at some of their events, you've seen the caliber of battles they're having on. Mm-hmm. So I think it's a good thing in a sense where other people can get a shot at doing something rather than it just be focusing on Don't Flop and whatever he likes to do. So I think it's a good thing in one sense, but it's bad in a sense where that was the constant battle rap event we went to, league. So it has pros and cons like everything.
It's a big loss.
It definitely is, because obviously it came right before the 9th birthday. Well, in that time frame where it was like no longer happening. And then that was like, well, didn't they just have the 8th birthday? And it was like, well, we're not having it now, so you may do with whatever else left. So
there's been a sort of, phoenix from the ashes sort of thing here. A lot of people saying they don't want to see Shovel T versus Sharon. They'd rather see Shovel T versus Soul. Fuck Sharon.
Fuck Sharon. What are you talking? Go and watch Sharon's battles, man. They probably don't even watch Sharon's battles. Like, Sharon's fire. Like, he's just, I don't know why I correlate with so much with him, but when I started watching King of the Dot, he was one of the first people I saw. So that's why I stuck with him. And he's a nice guy as well. I talked at length with him for a couple of hours. So, like, he's just a nice guy, and he's good to watch. And his battle against Bonnie was quite funny as well.
He's a great guy. Great episode when he came on here.
Yeah,
that was an honour. That was definitely one of the biggest guests we've ever had.
And it's just proven now what he's able to do, because he's on Wild and Out with Clips and Hitman. He's doing a UFC movie now or something. So he's getting like shots that have come from battle rap. Like, it's literally changed his life, innit? So he must be doing something right for these people to be taking interest in him.
Yeah, I mean, obviously he's one of the biggest ever. He's one of the biggest crossovers.
He is, especially in Canada. Like, he puts it on for Canada. It's not just his little region in Canada. It's all of Canada. Like, and it translates well when people go mad for one of his lines. So I know a lot of people here don't like him though. Like, they like him as a person, but not as a battler.
We get a question from First Name Last Name. Shout out them. Would it not be better if Premier Battles just did pay-per-view than on YouTube like everyone else? Their league is not too accessible.
I don't even know. It's I suppose, well, people put it this way: people pay £10 a month for Netflix. If you're that like involved in battle rap, you want to pay. It's like $4.99 in it for a month for it. Yeah, so $4.99 in the grand scheme to watch all the battles a month. In a sense, instead of £20 for all the battles. Like, again, there's pros and cons to it. I think it's just, if you like that platform, watch them. If you don't, just don't subscribe. It's as easy as that. There was I think it was on the Premier Battles Facebook page. I had this debate with someone the other week about it. It's just like, well, if you don't like the subscription, just don't subscribe to it. And the argument was, they've only got a few things, but they've had one event. What do you think they were going to put out? Like, they need to put it in some sort of order, otherwise people are going to pay for the battles and unsubscribe until the next time. Or, I don't know, but I think it's a good idea just because it's different.
I am interested in the numbers, though. I am curious how many people have actually signed up.
Yeah, I suppose only Breezy and Shorty know the answer to that.
Yeah. But you are right, though. Over time, I think it will grow in value, because, say, in 2 years' time, we'll have everything exclusively on there.
Exactly. It's like
there'll be so many classic matchups and cool content.
Exactly. It's like what Ted Turner does, though. When he started his whole thing, he believed in buying and owning his content, not renting his content. But that in itself made him have a whole catalogue of content, whereas Premier Battles have had one battle event. They had maybe 6 battles on the card, and they're not going to drop them all at one point, because you're not getting value for money for that. There's nothing to build up to with that. It's not a good way of presenting the network. You want to drop something here and then be like, yo, 2 weeks we got this dropping, 2 weeks after that we got this dropping, and then that'll be the lead up to the next event. And obviously they've been filming maybe with Tox and Flawless, have they? So that'll be extra content that'll be coming. So it's a building process, really, and people just have to give it a chance. And if they don't, just don't subscribe. Simple as that.
And I think as fans of this, seeing how good it is, we should be obliged, if we can, to support, because they're not having this. Okay, it's not really a safety net anymore of YouTube. It's very thin. As someone who uploads on YouTube regularly, obviously I don't get many views, but I appreciate how the process works. I've seen how it's been decimated by the adpocalypse, etc. Censorship, demonetization is rife at the moment. It's just all different things you have to take in consideration when you're setting something like that up, where you want to put content online. It's just
there's all these things you have to go through, and then, like, you know, as you said yourself, you've done it with the show, so you know what you're like talking about in a sense.
Yeah, and a few people are asking in the live chat, which we've got going at the moment, who you are. They are curious. So, how would you describe yourself, Josh Owen, in a few sentences?
How your favorite battle rappers fan?
Right.
No, I'm joking.
So you're a fan of the favourite battle rappers. That's who you are.
Yeah, basically, we're all fans.
Yeah.
But obviously, I've been around people know the name. Obviously, people in your chat, they don't know me, but
yeah,
I've been to basically every British-based league. Or I've been affiliated with every British-based league. Well, in the last 4 or 5 years, like, people know who I am. So obviously, I don't go on forums too tough. Like, I don't fuck with forums because I think they're a bunch of full of pussy holes.
Right.
But yeah, like, I'm known in it. It's just networking, and I've known battlers before they've battled and stuff. Like, I knew about Gemini before he battled because one of his boys was in a rap group that I was boys with and shit, and Cracker went to my school and shit. So I just knew about people, and then obviously they introduced me to people, and yeah.
Fair to say people sleep on Cracker. Like, the guy, you know, had skill.
He's a very good rapper, man. Like, he's a very, very good rapper. Like, people don't give him the credit he deserves for that. But obviously, his last maybe 4 or 5 battles, you didn't see that side of him. He battled Soul at the Ronalds a few years ago, and it was a shower of shit. Like, I'd left by this point the event, but it just didn't sit well, that battle with a lot of people, and he got quite a bit of hate off it. And then he battled was it Ty Healy on Clash Money, and shit popped off there again. So people didn't really see the rapper side of Cracker, they saw a different side. But I fuck with him, man, because I've known him maybe since like 2002 maybe, and to see him where he started as a rapper to battling to putting out EPs and stuff, he's come a long way.
So we got K9 Zangetsu in the comments.
Big up him.
Little debate he wants to open. Soul versus Tony D. Soul was not that good in this battle, he says. What do you think of that?
To be honest, I've only seen... I'd left the venue by the time this battle had happened because I was in a lot of pain. But I've seen... I think I've seen one round of this battle. I was watching it at work and then got told off and had to turn it off and haven't revisited it. So I don't really know too much about the Tony versus Soul battle.
I mean, personally, I don't know what people think in the comments of that. Was Soul, how good was Soul in the Tony D battle? Had Soul on the show recently. We recorded an episode about a week ago or so. We covered this battle, covered the Matter battle, Dialect battle, you know, Shock's battle.
The Dialect battle was fucking crazy.
Dialect battle
that was so fucking
out of this
good.
world. Like, that's bottling lightning, really. Putting someone like Soul, who normally has these kind of long tapestry, these, you know, ethereal rounds that are just tied together conceptually so well, having him in this fucking minute 90-second format. Again, we see it in Premier Battles as well. Jesus Christ, man, the fangs.
I know he came out venomous against Dialect, man. That was like, oh, the energy in the room for that battle as well when it got announced, it was fucking incredible. You were there. You were there? Yeah, you were there.
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah, you know what it was like. It was fucking incredible, that battle.
Yeah. So I don't really understand, to answer your question in the live chat, I don't really understand what you're saying. I think Soul is fantastic. I think, you know, if you're weighing it up against the great Soul performances, you know, which... As a fan, I probably bought him versus Matter, the first one. I appreciate it's not necessarily his best performance ever.
What, against Tony?
Yeah, no, I wouldn't say him v Tony's like his best ever showing.
His first round, like the round I did see, he was on form.
Oh my god!
Yeah. His Tony's first round was incredible, and Soul's first round, I thought. But obviously, I haven't progressed the battle since the first round. But I was spazzing out at work, and people were like, "Shut the fuck up and get back to fucking work." I was spazzing that much.
Right.
Like, there was just loads of haymakers in there that I fucking popped off on.
Yeah, it was crazy, really. And, you know, I think problem is Tony slipped up, and maybe it can make you sort of look a little bit differently at a battle, the way it operates. Okay, so you're not seeing these two guys at full potential, but even still, I think Soul is such a pro at this. Really, he really understands what makes compelling battle rap tick.
He does.
Underneath, and I think he is.
I think we saw that against when he battled Raptor.
Yeah.
Like he just.
Oh my
he was
God,
just on the next level.
Yeah. Unicorn Thief saying, shame we can't see Don't Flop's 10th birthday. It is a shame. I
know it is.
Never
it
got
is
to that point.
Just think what kind of battles we would have had for a 10th birthday. Like, the 8th birthday, they brought over Pat Stay and stuff, but, like, I don't know who they could have paired up, though, because surely there isn't that many battles left in the world with established people like that, though.
There's enough. I think there's enough. Maybe to get to 10, if you're saying they had to do 9 before as well, it'd be a little bit stretched. I think the sort of era of those sort of cards is maybe falling out a bit more. Now it's kind of slow, staggered events, every 4 or 5 months, etc. Not as consistent. Or I guess Chalked Out, though, have got a lot of stuff coming up, but, not as embedded there. Another question we've got, first name, last name, saying rest in peace to Bender, of course, R.I.P. Bender.
Yeah, rest in peace, Bender, man.
Terrible. What was his greatest battle? He says that he thinks it's Sid Vicious. That was the peak. Any thoughts, Josh?
You know what? I fucked his what battle was it? His title match against Arcane. I fucked with that battle heavy. Like, Bender
great,
is just too much in that battle, man. Like,
shake the hand of your replacement, and
exactly. His battle with Soul, ironically, Soul again. Like, his battle with Soul was really good as well.
Yeah,
I watched that
tonal
live.
battle. Wasn't as penny as you think it is. It's more sort of jokey, but like
it was. Battle. He took a different route, but it worked for him in that, because obviously you kind of the fuck with Bender. Like, he could do jokes, he could do bars. Like, they fucked with whatever he was bringing. So. And they all fuck with Soul as well, so it made for a good watch. Because I watched it live and I was tweeting. One of my tweets got put out on the pay-per-view cast thing. So that was cool, man. I really like that battle. But she's dead though, man. Like, that's fucked up.
Yeah, yeah, you're definitely right. But still, it's so bad. So apart from Ilmac and Saurus, Charles Brooks asks, what's the best matchup for Shufflo? They don't necessarily have to have teamed up beforehand. There's a few perhaps that are sort of lingering in the wings that you could eventually see. Tenchu and Lego, maybe.
That would be crazy.
As someone who's established. I want to throw my hat in the ring, and I know this isn't necessarily the best matchup, but it's a matchup I want to see. I want to see Shufflo versus Lazy Ass Jack and Bear Solutions.
That would be fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I think that would be hilarious.
Brilliant.
Because they've never just sort of poshed off against each other, and I think obviously Shufflo are legends, and I think Bear and Lazy have put the graft in. They're really good battlers. I think it'd be a fun challenge. I think something like this, maybe 2-minute rounds, even on Code Red or something. I think that would be great.
I think that would work better as like the format Shuffle Tiamalo did against Big J and Lefty, where it was just one round. That was a one round, the compliments battle, weren't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that battle would be better suited to a one round, just like maybe 5 or 6 minutes of just pure getting it out there shit. Because Lazy Ass Jack I fuck with Lazy Ass Jack and Bear Solutions, man. That'd be a really good battle. But you couldn't have it broken down into 3 rounds because you'd want to keep the momentum up for as long as you can on each side.
Yeah,
maybe.
Charles Brooks saying, come on, Tom, that would be brutal. So I guess maybe the consensus might be that. I mean, Shuffler probably would body them, but...
They would. Experience alone, and they can control a crowd. Like Shuffle T is that guy, bro. Him and Marlo together, they can do it. But I still want to see Shuffle T and Marlo versus DNA and K-Shine.
Oh, man.
Ultimate Styles clash. But I was looking forward to that battle. But obviously K-Shine couldn't get into the country for whatever purpose.
Yeah, there's so much involved with the different matchups that could potentially happen. Like even them versus gun titles, I think has some legitimacy. I think in 2018, nothing really needs to make sense in battle rap.
Yeah, for real, it doesn't. One of their best battles was against Wizard and Scissors in Brighton. That was fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
Like that was just crazy.
That rehearsal third.
Yeah, and Marlo did it all with a sore throat as well, so that made it even better.
Yeah, let us know in the comments if you're listening. Favourite Shuffle T and Marlo performance.
Yeah, give us a shout. What are your best?
Yeah, it'd be interesting.
Yeah, give us a shout.
Tenchu and Lego is a shout as well, says Charles. I think that could be good.
I don't know how it would transcend though, because of how Tenchu did in his battle against Copyright.
I think he did good.
He did well, but
it wasn't. Yeah,
a lot of people felt let down by it. Like it's no
sort of
disrespect
Tony
to Tenchu,
Soul
obviously.
syndrome. It's just copyright he's gotten better than what he was.
Yeah, he was like I was expecting more from Tenchu, kind of thing. I don't know what other people's. What are your thoughts about it? Like everyone in the chat box, like give us your thoughts on what you thought about Tenchu and copyright.
Yeah. Anything you think about that episode? I'm sure people in the future will listen. Like, shut up about that live chat. Like that happened 2 years ago. But even still, if you've got any questions for us, we'll definitely get to them. But yeah, Shufflo need to battle more. I understand why. The environment as a whole hasn't been conducive, especially. It's been a bit more eruptive there, a bit more unpredictable. So shout out to both of those guys, and let us know. Let us know, as we say, your things in the comments below. I want to do a quick shout out as well, just back on the show. We've had a really great month or so. I had lots of. I'll give you the top 10 most downloaded episodes of Battle Rap Resume. A little bit of stats that I don't normally do, but I figured I might do it for something like this. So this is 10 to 1 of the last 30 days. So Bloodstroke coming on was number 10. That was a cool chat with him. Little Premier Battles sort of matchup day one recap. We preview the upcoming event as well. So obviously all these episodes are on the feed quite recently, so download them if not. Quill then came on. We spoke about Bobby Rex, Yunnan, Premier Battle. Short episode, like 20-minute episode, 25 minutes. Packed a lot in, like a Quill round. Had Naz on. We did URL Smack, Volume 2 preview. Great to have him on. Mike Alloy from Champion came on. Shout out Mike, who basically got Battle Rap Resume mentioned on Champion at the end. So that was very cool. Jay Black said that he'd listened to me and Mickey like beefing or whatever. So I
want to see that. I want to hear that.
That was cool. I'll send you the link, man. Yeah.
Wait, Mickey, get at Tom. Yeah, we need to see that, bro.
Yeah. The Art of Freestyle, BA came on. P Soldier, Bombshell, we've had some great episodes. Definitely she came on for the Briggs' Soliloquy recap. That's number 3. Number 2 was Crafty's little appearance, talking rap to Shufflo Evil. And then we had Mastermind, episode 3, Kruger and Gemini. So
that was really good.
Yeah,
I fucked with that.
That was a great episode. Love doing Mastermind. We've got lots more Mastermind coming soon. I've wrapped Colton and Zach episode. Number 4, so that'll probably be out in a month or so. I don't know, a few weeks, depends when you listen to this. Could be out right now. We've got maybe Bloodstroke versus Soul happening. We're gonna have Hulk versus Juan. Hopefully, like a Bagnall Archaic Quill sort of. We're gonna have a few episodes here and there. So we've got lots in the pipeline. Let us know what you think as well about any of these episodes that we do on the show, and anything you want to get involved in as well. But this has been great, man. This has been really fun to go through your battle rap history, take some questions, fend some opinions. Josh, it's been cool speaking to you, bro.
And you, man. We should do it again soon.
Definitely, man. I mean, just before you go, how do people get at you? Like, is there a Twitter? Is there a Facebook? Like,
hold on, I'll have to go on my Twitter for this. Yeah, I don't know my handle off by heart.
We can pop the links below.
Yeah, I think it's at Joshua Owen 88 on Twitter, and same again for Instagram.
Well,
and
yeah,
just Joshua on
we'll lock that down, man. That's all good. So I want to say thank you to everyone who's been listening to us live, anyone listening in the future as well. This has been a fun experiment. If you want to catch up on the live streams, go on the channel, subscribe on YouTube, leave us a comment on the videos, iTunes, Patreon. Everything we flog at the top and at the bottom of every episode. Josh, this has been great, bro. Thanks again.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me on, man.